to discuss findings and a decision on BiologiQ's appeal. Just by way of instruction, this is a public meeting, but not a public hearing. We will not be taking any public comments. And after this, in this process with the Board of Equalization, there's a 28-day right to appeal to the Board of Equalization. So if you have any questions or comments, those need to be directed to our legal counsel. Please don't contact the commissioners during the time that the decision may or may not be filed for appeal. So I think probably the best way to do this, let's see, let me share screen. I'll share the proposed findings legal counsel has put together. And I'll just walk through those. Is it coming up?
It is up on the screen, Roger. It's small. You might make the font bigger or increase your
I don't see it on my screen. I just
lower right-hand corner of the %.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then let's see.
Yeah, that's readable.
Okay. Trouble is, I need to go down just a little so we can get all of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't see it on my screen with the pictures, but I'll just go through it. And if you have any questions or changes, this is a combination of your input, my input, Brian.
Okay.
So I'll just read through it. The procedure and history. This is an appeal of a denial of a property tax exemption under Idaho Code 63602NN. On February 26th, 2020, the Bonneville County Commissioners issued an oral decision pronounced in open session denying BiologiQ's application for a tax exemption under Idaho Code 63602NN. On April 10th, 2020, BiologiQ filed a motion to reconsider with the Bonneville County Commissioner's Office, which was denied by the Bonneville County Commissioners on April 24th, 2020 for reasons stated in its written decision. On May 11th, BiologiQ filed an appeal using Bonneville County's protest evaluation form, where Bonneville County was unable at the time of appeal to locate a form for appeal of a claim for exemption. On May 19th, 2020, the Bonneville County Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Equalization, held a hearing on said appeal. BiologiQ waived the presence of the Bonneville County Assessor or his representative in the BOE hearing. Commissioner Dave Radford recused himself due to a personal conflict of interest. At this hearing, all documentation, testimony, and arguments previously submitted with prior application and at hearing was reincorporated into the record on appeal. Mr. Fuller, counsel for BiologiQ, also referred to a PowerPoint presentation which was incorporated in the record. The argument of appellant on appeal. Mr. Fuller emphasized BiologiQ's application met Bonneville County's local ordinance minimum of $3 million investment, as well as all other requirements for the commissioners to entertain this motion. Mr. Fuller agreed this commission erred in considering a potential freezing of county budgets under Idaho House Bill 409. Mr. Fuller also raised at the time of this hearing, Bonneville County would be well served to have this business expansion in Idaho Falls due to the recent developments with the outbreak of COVID-19 and a decline in building permits. He argued Idaho Code 63602NN serves to attract new business and allows for a redistribution of the tax burden. Mr. Brad LaPrey commented that there would be short-term pain for the community in granting this exemption in favor of BiologiQ with long-term benefits once the exemption expires, and that burden falls on the community and that the burden falls on the community to help attract new business. Mr. LaPrey also argued he hoped this exemption would help to give Bonneville County an edge on the global competitive market in bioplastics, as well as draw global recognition to the county. The analysis. The following decision is based on the record before the Commission, as well as arguments and testimony before the Commission. As a preliminary matter, the Commission has a strong interest in business growth and development in the county. We applaud BiologiQ's desire to invest in the local economy with strong capital investment. We further recognize and can appreciate the amount of effort businesses place in preparing these applications. Regardless of the local ordinance adopting $3 million floor to an application for the property tax exemption. Granting the property tax exemption is permissive. Counties who elect to maintain the floor at $500,000, a fairly nominal investment in today's standards, are likewise not bound to accept all applications that meet this level of capital investment. To that end, and to their credit, BiologiQ recognized that Bonneville County Commissioner's decision in this matter is discretionary. Clearly, additional analysis beyond the capital outlay is anticipated by this statute. Otherwise, the legislature would have mandated the exemption like it did with the homeowner's exemption. The operative portion of this exemption is short. It says, one, provided that there is a planned investment that meets all tax incentive criteria as defined in the subsection 2 of this section, the Board of County Commissioners may, emphasis added, exempt all or part of the change from the base value attributable directly to the planned investment. Where the Commission has statutory discretion to decide whether to grant this exemption or not, it is unnecessary to outline each and every basis for the approval or a denial of this application. However, this Commission will attempt to enumerate a number of major factors in an attempt to reach a sound decision through an exercise of reason. Number one, Mr. Fuller recognized the policy of 602NN exemption is to serve as an incentive to attract new business. The Commission agrees in part with this assertion. The statute also contemplates expansion of a business already located in the area to avoid losing valuable businesses. However, in this case, BiologiQ had already purchased the land and plans to improve the property. BiologiQ has not provided any financial information to the commissioners to demonstrate the granting of this exemption will directly impact the viability of this project. Instead, it appears BiologiQ has already planned for its expansion in Bonneville County at the site identified in the application. Where no showing has been made that the exemption is key to the survival of the project as opposed to merely increasing the profitability of the company, the commissioners are reluctant to grant such an application. Mr. Fuller and Mr. LaPre both argue allowing this exemption allows the commissioners to redistribute the tax burden to the community to allow private businesses to become established. Respectfully, this commission adamantly disagrees. Instead, unless good cause exists, all development should contribute and share the tax burden. Expansion, both in construction and in resulting employment, causes an increased burden on roads, utilities, public services, water usage, light, noise, and other factors that require maintenance and enforcement, all paid for by property tax dollars. Therefore, this commission is of the opinion, despite the capital outlay, the benefit to the community would have to be substantial in order to offset an abeyance of property tax for up to 5 years. Further, the exemption must be a vital element of the project's survival and long-term viability in the community. No such evidence was presented. While recognizing the critical nature of free enterprise and capitalism in the community, the commissioners are also cognizant of the risk of granting an exemption that may only serve to increase profitability of the company at the ultimate expense to those low income and fixed income taxpayers. Professional services and high-paying jobs are highly coveted. However, the request for tax exemption does not appear to have been calculated in the overall success of the project. Instead, BiologiQ states in the application, we are looking for ways to maximize our investment. On appeal, BiologiQ argued the governor's order related to COVID-19 had a direct impact on the community, and the community would benefit from BiologiQ expansion. It is clear that BiologiQ already plans to expand in Bonneville County regardless of whether the exemption is granted. Further, this commission is hearing this matter on appeal of a petition filed before COVID-19 was declared a pandemic and appeared to have a potential impact on the community. The merit of the application should be weighed in light of the market conditions at the time of the application was submitted and an initial hearing was held, just as properties are assessed at a specific point in time. Regardless, BiologiQ mentions the number of building permits has been lower during COVID months. This is not necessarily a factor of a weak economy. We are still learning the long-term effect of COVID-19 on the community. However, the reduction in building permits could be related to a temporary pause based on public concern of contraction of the virus and corresponding reduced restricted labor force in the planning and zoning to receive and process applications for permits. By all other accounts, the economy in Bonneville County appears to be strong with a shortage of housing and an influx of growth due to lower housing prices compared to the remainder of the nation, in combination with the announcement of expansions at the Idaho National Laboratory. Of course, Bonneville County's economy is never too strong to ignore attracting new businesses that will benefit the local economy. However, the intent of attracting new businesses and granting tax exemption should be weighed against the benefit to the community, the need and desirability of attracting the businesses, not to maximize the profitability of the proposed project. To hold otherwise would likely result in a flood of applications for any commercial operation over $3 million, which is still a fairly conservative number. Clearly, BiologiQ is welcome in Bonneville County and will hopefully be a source of pride and growth for the community. However, the need for the exemption is not apparent, even though the application appears to meet the minimum investment amount. Based on the foregoing and on the additional factors substantiated by the record, this commission hereby denies BiologiQ's request for property tax exemption, Idaho Code 63602 NN. This will be dated the 17th day of June 2020. Questions, Commissioner Reed? Comments?
No, I really appreciate the way it was written. When I reviewed it, I think it really captured my thoughts and really explained the position that I felt on it. There is one typo of Mr. LaPre's name, I believe, under number 2. On about the 3rd page during the analysis, but anyway, it's spelled with an E, and I believe it's P-R-A-Y. So that we can make that change in it, but
okay, it's made.
And
Mr. Commissioner, you changed the wrong letter. They both should be A's. L-A-P-R-A-Y.
yes.
L-A-P-R-A-Y.
So that was the only thing I saw in it. But no, I think it really captured my thoughts. I mean, they are a great business. I think they're a great fit for Idaho. I applaud them for what they are doing and the innovation that they're exhibiting. But I feel in my position that it's just important to protect all taxpayers, particularly at this time. And I think that was captured in the analysis.
Yeah, and one of the things that I had, in my input was the obligation, as was expressed, of all taxpayers to support business development. I think that's probably not quite the way I would view the obligation, so I disagree with that. I don't think the intent of this statute was to require all other property owners to support economic development. So, okay, with that, do you have a motion?
I do. I would move that we accept the findings as written with the one correction to the spelling.
Okay, I will go ahead and print this.
Commissioner Christensen, the intent, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
The intent here would be that this would be put onto county letterhead or something to that effect with a date and identifying information on the first page, so that this isn't so that this document's easily identifiable. So I would recommend that whether this is approved or not approved, that either some sort of cover letter precede this, or that there be something identifying the decision at the top, whether that be an address directly to Mr. Fuller with a subject line and the date, or however you'd like to prepare that. But it would be helpful if there's some identifying information on the very first page.
Okay, I just printed it, but I'll send it to Ruby and she can put it on our letterhead. And then if Mr. Fuller wants a copy of that, you can request that from Ruby. So, okay.
He should receive it regardless of whether he requests it. That's that certificate
Okay.
of service at the end.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know. I think there was a motion. I don't know that there was a vote on it. I apologize for interrupting.
Oh, yeah, I was too busy making edits, so I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thanks for the catch. All right, thank you.